Welcome to our Global IT Solution Git's Playwright channel on lecture 1 or 00. So this is going to be very beginning, which is from the scratch. Let's think about you don't know anything about the Playwright. So we'll be starting installing all the pre-required tools and technologies. Then we'll start it writing code. So without talking, let's get started. So I put them together over here as a list, as a pre-requirement. Before you start writing the code using Playwright's APIs. So in order to using the Playwrights, we need to install NodeJS in our machine, install VS Code as an editor to write the code, install Java for the Allure reporting because we'll be using the Allure report dashboard. Then we'll be creating a folder on the desktop, Windows machine or Mac machine. Then we'll be opening up the VS Code, which is a Visual Studio Code for editor to write the code. Then we'll drag that folder into the VS Code. Then we'll start installing our Playwright API for the test automation. So what is Playwright? Let's get into their website and let's see what they're saying. So if you navigate to their website at a glance, the Playwrights enables reliable end-to-end testing for modern web apps. So the Playwright basically support all the browsers, which is currently we have Chromium, Edge, Firefox, and Safari, which is a WebKits. So we are able to automate on all of the across the websites, across the browsers, any events, which is we had challenge earlier with the Cypress, Selenium, and all other automation suite. Now, all the challenges it's overcomes with the Playwrights. So Playwrights overcomes with it. Now, if you scroll down, it says any browser, any platform. So that's when any browser you can automate, any platform like Windows machine, Mac OS, Linux, anything you can on the top of it you can automate it. And also cross language like TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, C#, Java, and more like as a test mobile apps, right? There is no flaky test. So no trade-off, no limits. It's just, like automates everything. Frames, iframes, DOM files, shadow, right? Full isolation as a first executions compared to any other tools like powerful toolings. Code gen, you can record and run and like playbacks. And also Playwrights, there is the inspector itself. You can do the inspect on the DOM file and get the locators like CSS, XPath, like get ID, get name. There is a trace viewers as well as you can trace it on the console. So this is all about the Playwright. Honestly, there is nothing to say about Playwrights. It is top of everything. Playwrights just brings all the latest technologies and stack in the entire automation worlds. If you are not even started yet with the Playwright, I highly suggest and encourage you to just research on the Playwright and start automating using the Playwrights. I think I'm talking too much. Let's get started into the work. So it says the install Node.js, the first one. Let's install the Node.js. Let's go to the Google Chrome. It could be Windows machine, it could be Mac. So I'm using Mac, but it's going to be remaining same, the process. Let's say install Node.js. Node.js, hit enter on the Google, download Node.js. Click on download Node.js. You can download based on the or if you are using Windows, you'll be installing Windows. If you are using Mac, you'll be using the Mac. So just click on it, it will download, and after the download, you can just double click on it, it will install for you. So this is about the Node.js. Install VS Code. Now go to Google again, Google search and type VS Code install. The first link, as you see, the download Visual Studio Code Mac, Linux, Windows. You can click on it. The same thing again. You can download based on the Windows, based on the platform you are using, Windows, Macs. So download it and double click on it. It will open for you. So then the third one, which is install Java. So Java you will be needing for only for the purpose of Allure reporting. You have to download and install Java. So Java means you have to have the JDK in your machine and set up the environment. So let's say download JDK. It could be 11, it could be any version, that's fine. Download JDK, Java runtime environment, Java development kit, and with the Java development kit, JDK will come the GRE, which is a Java runtime environment. Now click on the Java download oracles, then this is your JDK basically. So based on the machine, the platform you are using it, you will be installing any one of them. Let's say you are using Mac, you will be installing the MSI or installer, any one of them. If you are using the Windows, you can install the installer, 64 installer or MSI installer. Once you download it, you have to double click on it in order to install. So once it is being installed, the Java, then you have to set up your environment variable on your Windows machine if you are using the Windows machine. So there is a many different, like the YouTubes or the, like in Google search, you can find how to set up environment variable. Environment variable for Java in Windows. So if you are using the Windows, it's just like giving you the step-by-step how to using it. It's very basic and straightforward. You can just use that as a step-by-step, right? It says that you have to open up the environment variable, device program file, Java, then copy that path of the JDK, then going back to your settings, right, and the systems and the advanced system settings, and then environment variable. Then you can edit existing path, edit it, and add them over here, the path of the JDK. Excuse me. Then on the console, you can validate Java -- version. It should be giving you something like that as output. So this is pretty much it. Same thing will be for the Mac. You'll be configuring your best profile with the Java environment variable. Let's get back to create a folder on the desktop. Once you have all three of them installed, then let's go ahead and create a folder on the desktops. Okay, let's go ahead and create it. I'm gonna make it smaller. We'll be creating a folder in our desktop as it is mentioning. So we'll be going inside it and we'll be creating a folder called Playwright JavaScript suite, automation suite. So this is the folder we created. Then the second one, open the Visual Studio Code, which is we just installed. We'll be open up. This is our Visual Studio Code the first time. Look like this. We don't have anything on the Visual Studio Code. Create a new file, right? It says the create a new file, but we'll be following the steps. Drag that folder on the Visual Studio Code. So let's drag the folder. We just drag the folder on the Visual Studio Code. Then install Playwright API for test automation. Okay, so after dragging it, we have to trust it, the folder. Then we'll be going back and install the Playwright. So this is our Playwright folder, which is we created on the desktop. So now let's go back to our Playwright website. Let's see what it says. In order to install, you have to click on the docs, then click on install. So there you go. So npm installing Playwright, npm install Playwright. So copy that code and come back to the console. So we can open up the terminal on the Visual Studio Code itself. You see it on the top. It's called a terminal. So we can open up the terminal and close the welcome. Okay, so our terminal is open here. Terminal is open. We'll just copy and paste the code. That's all I need. Now we'll be installing. So we'll be using the JavaScript. So inside the test, GitHub action workflow false, yes. Then install Playwright browser, yes. There you go. So everything is being installed and it's giving me some commands to executing the test. How do we execute the test? On the left hand side, you see the node modules. Under the node modules, it is all the, because this is a NodeJS JavaScript based. So node modules came from the node package manager. So when we ran our script npm init, so that means it is initializing the folder Playwright automation suite, and also it is installing all the Playwright dependency inside the node module. So everything's all the Playwright core and Playwright dependencies, UI events, API events, everything installed and adding as a dependency using the package.json file. You see the Playwright test. So this is the dependency we're adding, but all relevant events, APIs, everything's under the node modules. And also it is giving us some example test under the test folder. So how do we run it? We can run this test using these commands. We can just copy these commands and we'll be adding as a readme.md file on this project. Readme.md file, and let's add this as for instruction. Let's add it over here. Let's copy it again, copy and paste it over here. Let's copy it and paste. There you go. We just copy and paste all of them. So now we'll be following the instruction. It says the npx playwright test. Let's copy this and paste it over here in the terminal and in order to running our test. Oops, it is not working, right? npm npx playwright test. What it says over here, no matching version found. Let's paste it again. There you go, it is running. So we made a mistakes before. So npx running npx playwright test, there is a headless mode. All the tests are executing it. Now if you expand the test on the example.specs, basically all the tests over here it's located. Right. So there is a 2 test over here, and there is a other test also inside test example here. There is total like 6 tests, 6 or 7 or 8 tests. So these 6 tests are passed. As you see over here, also you can generate a report by copy and pasting. So this is an HTML report. It comes by default with the Playwright installation. How cool it is. You can click on it. You can see what it does.